It depends really on the music budget. So if you're working on a feature film that's got, a very good music budget, when you commission the composer as part of that, the production company has enough money in the music budget to actually purchase the publishing rights of the score. So the production company then owns where this music can be licensed, where it can be played, right? And they basically own the rights to that music. But again, they knew that they wanted the rights to the music, so they had enough money to be able to buy that from the composer. So they commissioned basically a composer as a works for hire, and then the composer writes the music, but he then gives the publishing over to the production company, and that comes at a certain fee. The composer does retain what's called the writer's share. So as far as the author of the music, it's still the composer, and he basically wrote the music. Now, where this comes into play is when you get with royalties. And royalties are paid out if the film is shown overseas, you get royalties for the performance of the music. If the film is shown on television, whether it's cable or broadcast television or network television, you'll get royalties for that. Streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, you get royalties for that. So wherever there's a public performance of this film, there will be royalties attributed to that. Now, going back to that initial decision, if the production company bought the rights as part of this commission of the composer, the publishing, they get 50% of those royalties, and the composer, the writer, gets the writer's share, which is 50% of those royalties. So that's where the royalty splits happens. Now, if it's a lower budget production and an independent film, and the composer or the music budget is not large enough to buy these rights, the composer, as part of his negotiating the deal, will usually retain the publishing, and he will own the rights, but he'll give what's called a universally accessible license to the music, so for use in this particular film. And that may or may not be exclusive for a particular period. So if they came to me as the composer, I'd say, well, I'm going to give you the rights to use this music throughout the universe on every medium that is seen today or known today or in the future, and you'll be able to use this music within your film and any advertising with your film. So I'm giving you a license to use the music as much as you want for this particular production. There may be an exclusive point to it where I say, and I will not allow anyone else to use this music for 2 years, 5 years, 1 year, whatever the term comes. After that term is done, the composer can actually decide to relicense that music out to another production, because again, the exclusive term is over. But the composer retains the rights. But more importantly, the composer also retains both halves of the royalties, the publishing side and the writer's share. So this is a great way to get a composer on board that you normally wouldn't be able to potentially afford, because again, he's looking at that downward revenue stream of getting both the publisher shares and the writer's share. And that allows basically the composer to still work on this, even though there might not be a large upfront fee. But also keep in mind, when films play at festivals, and a lot of independent films will play at festivals only, there's no royalties for those.